Luciano in 46 was sent back to Italy, and Costello was the boss of the family. And Genovese was very angry about that. He thought he should have been the boss. And here's Costello the boss, and he's down below. And that aggravated him for 10 years. In 1957, he approached Carlo Gambino and said, you know, the leader of your family is this Albert Anastasia. He's a crazy man. He wants to kill everybody. It would be nice if we could get rid of Albert Anastasia and Frank Costello, and I'll take over this family and you take over that family. And it would be nice, too, because your son, Tommy, is married to the daughter of Mr. Lucchese. It'd be nice if the three of us were together. So Carlo Gambino said, fine, we're all together. You make the first move. So in July of 1957, Frank Costello was coming home, and he got shot, and the bullet creased his head, and he got the message. He said, I'm retired. So Genovese is going to take over. Some of Costello's friends, including Albert Anastasia, were not too happy. And Genovese said to Gambino, okay, your move next. And in October, they killed Albert Anastasia, and Gambino moved up.
There are different explanations for the reason of his killing. One was he was involved in the selling of memberships to the mob with his underboss Scalise, who was also killed. But there are probably many reasons for it, and there are also many suspects in the killing. Some believe it was Joey Gallo and his brothers. Others believe it were others involved, but certainly it was from people within the mob. And then mobsters from all over the country met at the home of Joseph Barbera to settle out a series of problems. Again, depending upon who you believe, it involved the trafficking in narcotics, the killing of Anastasia, union problems, but a series of issues within the mob that called for a national conclave. Unfortunately for them, a state police officer by the name of Edgar Crosswell noticed a large number of figures meeting at this rural home.
Among the gangsters attending the convention were Santos Traficante, Joe Bonanno, Joe Profaci, Carlo Gambino, Vito Genovese, Sax Lanza, Carmine Galante, Joe Mariotto, Stefano Magadino.
They gave dozens of reasons for being there, many the same, many different. And as a result of what was obviously lying before the grand jury, were indicted for conspiracy to commit perjury. But for a variety of legal reasons and legitimate ones, the indictment was dismissed. But now the nation's attention was focused on the mob, and for the first time, the FBI recognized that there was something there.
There has been expressed criticism of the FBI for not being involved in organized crime investigations until 1957. Now, as you know, it was the Appalachian New York Conference in 1957 and the wide publicity that it received that got the FBI involved in investigation. It wasn't until that time that basically the federal government really knew that there was a criminal group operating in the United States, throughout the United States, that involved in day-to-day criminal activity.
Remember, before that, J. Edgar Hoover never did anything about the mob. Nothing, ever. He was too busy chasing some guy that was a communist for 18 minutes in 1933. Then, you know, I remember Woody Allen one time wrote a story that started off, that said something like, Jimmy Baby Blue Eyes Alloy was indicted yesterday for illegal possession of New Jersey. You know? But that's what was happening at the period. You know, while Hoover was chasing communists, gangsters were like taking over entire cities, you know, and creating, you know, taking over the politics of places like New Jersey. The theory always was they had something on Hoover, which probably was true.
There are two major theories, and of course, the answer to which one is correct lies in the head of Hoover, and Hoover's dead, so we will never know. Why Hoover, as head of the major national law enforcement agency, refused to recognize the existence of the mob. Some say it was because his major focus was communism, and to the extent that concentration on the mob would dilute that effort, he was opposed to it. The other is somewhat more charitable and maybe more correct. He knew that the mob